He's back on the Olympia stage, going for number 8. That's it. It's official. He's in. Done deal.
I guess I can't say anything.
You know, Phil did not win the Mr. Olympia 7 years in a row by accident. You don't do that by accident. You don't win it once by accident.
No, certainly not.
Maybe once you could by good luck, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, he knows the way. He knows the way.
As we go way back, Phil, you know me, I'm not going to mince words. I got to throw this out there. Did Sean Roden win the Olympia, or did you lose the Olympia?
Well,
that's a good one, huh?
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, they chose who they wanted.
But you know what I mean.
Part of me kind of feels like I left the door open, and he got what he deserved. Because at the end of the day, I know in my heart I'm a better bodybuilder. I just know it. I have more impressive body parts, and those are those things. But I don't have to talk about his physique, put him down or anything like that. That's not what that's about. I wasn't at my best, but Jay's gone through it. Ronnie's gone through it. Like, you win, and then they'll judge you against you. Same with social media. I see everything people say. They'll say, this guy is a legend, this guy is this. They use these terms very loosely. But then if they use that same lens that they use on me next to the guys that are on stage, it's a little different. So for me, it's like the lens that I use, that I know it was used on Ronnie. I mean, they picked on Ronnie too. You know, it's hard to see the same person over and over again. Jay came in and did his thing. I was on that stage when Jay lost in 08. I got 3rd at my first Olympia, like Lee Haney. So now that I know that he did that, I'm very happy.
That's pretty cool.
Yes, but I was there on that stage, and that was Jay that lost. He lost that. I remember people in the industry, writers, journalists, like real journalists, not these bloggers that we see on YouTube that you guys follow, like real journalists that went to school for this stuff, wrote this man off. They wrote him off. Oh, he's finished and this and that. I read all that stuff. And then Jay shoved it in their faces. And then it was like, they don't even remember him losing now. They don't remember. They don't bring it up anymore. Because he won, and he won the following year. He actually beat me on the, I lost, you know, in 2010. I competed during Ronnie's era, but I never stepped on Olympia stage during that time, thank God, because I did not want to get my ass whooped like that. Because I've been very fortunate. I probably have the best job in bodybuilding, or best career, because I was able to have their phone numbers. Kind of like what Arnold said about Lee Haney. There's other things in life as well. I don't want to become just very one-dimensional. I think sometimes it's a good thing to have loss because it allows you to reflect. But I didn't lose that damn show. I lost, but I didn't lose. And I'll probably be able to share more of that if and when I come back and do other things outside of bodybuilding as well. Because sometimes, I guess, I realized that there was a lot to learn. Not just about the physique. I know how to train. But what else am I good at? And that's what I'm really focusing on right now, is what else am I good at? What else can I do to connect with the world without bodybuilding? Because that's what Arnold did. That's what a lot of us are doing right now. We're still connecting with the world, not having to compete. So I'm trying to do both. So I appreciate all the love. And I will say, like, I hope I get a copy of this video, because if I can get a copy of it, I probably will come back, because I will want to replay this. Because there's a lot of love and appreciation in the room, and I appreciate that.
I'm going to have a copy of you in about 5 minutes, okay? Because I'd love to have you back on stage, man. I tell you what, it's weird. I'd be honest with you, man. We've talked about this. You know, me and Phil are very close friends. We have been for many years. It'd be weird without you on the stage. I mean, it's been the last, 10
years.
10 years. So, yeah. So it's a little funky when you think about it, but in the same manner, I mean, things do move on. I mean, there was an era, Lee, where you were there, and people couldn't imagine the Olympia stage without Lee Haney. And Ronnie, same thing, and you dominated that stage for nearly a decade.
You're kind of like me. You kind of like think the guy who came before you was the greatest of all time. Well, the guy who was greatest of all time to me was this guy sitting next to me, Lee Haney. And of course, I still feel that same way. And people come to me all the time and ask me, who do you think the greatest of all time? I still say Lee Haney is the greatest of all time. And I will always think that way because Lee probably don't remember, but when I first got into the sport of bodybuilding, Lee was coming up on the end of his career. And I can remember like it was yesterday. And I was working security when he was going for his 8th title. And I'm like, man, if I can get backstage and just take this picture with Lee Haney, this would be the best day of my whole life. And somehow or another, I was fortunate enough to get backstage and take a picture with him before he went on stage to win his 8th title. I don't know if you remember that or not, but the worst thing about that is that picture never came out. So it was the greatest day of my life, and then also at the same time it was the saddest day of my life. And I can remember now when I lost Jay, I'm thinking to myself, man, I'm done with this sport. Yeah, I didn't have that heart, I didn't have that desire, and I didn't have that burning desire to come back. And I was thinking that, you know, I'm not even going to show up to the show that I was supposed to compete in, like, what, it was 2 weeks later after the Olympia, we always went on the tour. I'm like, I'm done with the tour. I ain't doing this thing. Jay just beat me. And Lee Haney walks over to me and say, hey, man, how you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm not doing too good. I'm like, I'm kind of like done with this sport. And Lee says to me, nah, man, you ain't done. He's like, what are you going to do with your life? You know, at the time, I didn't have anything else to do. But Lee said, what you going to do? I'm like, I don't know. It's like, you going to continue to bodybuild. And I was thinking about, you know, it was the end of my life. Well, it wasn't the end of my life. It was the end of my career. And this guy here talked me back on the stage. But Lee Haney is the one who brought me back to compete in Olympia next year. And I'm saying that to say to Phil, you want a way to connect with the fans, get back on stage and get your title back. That's how you connect with them. And that's how you write the next chapter of your life also.
But Jay, you beat your guy to get the title. Phil, you beat your guy to get the title. Lee, nobody beat you. So, you know, that's just the way it goes. But